Alright, hey guys, welcome back to the garage. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of maintenance stuff on the Miata. So I've been driving it around the last week or so, and the clutch is acting amazing. It's super great, super smooth. But little nitpick things that I'm starting to find from driving the car around. So we have check engine light for one of the O2 sensors has gone out. So I went ahead and ordered two new O2 sensors. Likely it's really old. They were kind of crusty when I pulled them out. And then getting banged around sitting on the garage floor probably didn't help any. So we're going to go ahead and get those knocked out today. And a second thing, a nice little creature comfort and kind of a safety thing, is these latches for the top. So I have some replacement latches here. So this is actually supposed to lock into place. And it's not. These wear down over time, so I have some replacements for that. They're also adjustable, so as things continue to wear out over time, we can continue to make sure there's proper tension on it. And secondly, I also found out that there's a little piece that's actually supposed to go on top of here, which guides into the post at the top of the windshield. And that can also create a little bit of wiggle in the top. So I don't have those on me right now. I'll get those ordered and we'll replace those later. It's a real quick, easy job. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to replace all this stuff. And we'll see you on the other side. Alright, so we went ahead and got the car jacked up. We can access everything from the left side, so I'm not too worried about jacking the other side up. But the front O2 sensor connects into this plug right here. So there's just a little clip on the bottom. Just get your needle nose pliers and pop that up and out. And we'll go ahead and unplug. There we go. Now, the actual O2 sensor has another little clip on the back of the manifold here. It can be kind of a little bit of a pain in the ass to get out, but nothing too crazy. And then the O2 sensor itself, you can actually kind of see from the engine bay. It's just right down there. And you can get to that through either the wheel well or right underneath the car. It's super easy to get to. Okay, we got everything up top done, so now I'm going to crawl underneath the car, use my nice little adapter socket here for O2 sensors. And while I go ahead and crawl underneath the car and get that taken out, go ahead and enjoy a few of these clips from a classic car show that Daniel and I went to yesterday. Tons of cool cars, lots of people, and it was a great event. And we'll catch you when I get this taken out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the car show just as much as we did. We're definitely going to be doing a lot more events like that, so definitely keep tuned and follow us and give us a subscribe, and you'll be able to check out more stuff like that on our journeys as well as track days. So now that I got the front done, we'll go ahead and get started on the rear. Now with the Miata, the rear O2 sensor isn't just like right behind the cat like most vehicles are, where it's up close to the transmission tunnel. It's actually way back next to the rear axle. So the front O2 sensor is the one that's the most critical for the vehicle performance, because that monitors your actual oxygen content and helps the ECU adjust fuel to make sure that it's running properly. Now the rear O2 sensor, its job is essentially just checking to make sure that your catalytic converter is working. So it's less critical if that one goes bad, but it's still good practice to run it and fix it when you can. Because the O2 sensor is so far back, it's not a harness from the engine bay or in through the cabin, down through the trans tunnel or near the firewall like a lot of other cars. This one actually runs underneath the carpet under the driver's seat, and that's where the connector is. Then it goes through the rear firewall here and then down to the rear exhaust. So we're going to have to pull this seat out. There's a couple bolts on the back. We'll get those out, slide the seat back, get the two fronts out, and then unplug the seat. Take that out, and then we'll be able to start taking the carpet off and then unplug it from the top side. push out the little rubber grommet on the firewall, and then we'll take the O2 sensor on it on the back. So go ahead and we'll go ahead and get started on this and get this seat out of here. With the seat taken out, now we can access the carpet. I'm sure you saw some of that in the time lapse there. So I got a nice little interior panel remover kit there. These little guys are super helpful for getting out those like barbed plugs that you almost always snap off. So I undid the 3 on the top, 2 on this back panel, and then I was able to get the rear carpet undone. So the plug is right here that you need to undo. And then there's a little rubber grommet. I already went ahead and pushed it through. And now we can get into the bottom of the car, get that one out, and then fish the new plug in, put the interior back together, and we'll be done quicker than you think. Go away, mosquito. Just a little baby extension. All right, guys, we went ahead and got the rear O2 sensor taken care of, so we're good to go there. And now our next step is we're back together, and we've already got the push pins back in. O2 sensors all wrapped up down there, and we'll get our 14 millimeter bolts back in for the seat. I also took the opportunity while the seat was out to vacuum a little bit. It's not perfect, but I found an old piece of gum and an old pen in there, so went ahead and cleaned that up a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and get the seat put together. With the interior all put back together, now the next thing we're going to do is clear our engine codes. So I'll show you real quick. On the Miata and most cars, there's a little panel right here. Just pop that open, you can see my fuse box, but what we're really interested in is this OBD2 port here. So I'm going to grab my scanner real quick and get those codes checked out. So you can pick these up pretty cheap on Amazon. This is just a little Foxwell unit, and all you got to do is plug her in. And we start getting power. And we want to look at OBD2 codes. Now it's going to check to link to the vehicle. This is all just industry standard communication protocols that you see, so it's just trying them out until it finds the right one. Yeah, let me give car power here. There we go. Alright, so it's found that it's the ISO 9141, that nice little friendly beep there tells us that we do have a check engine light, and we already kind of know what it is. We'll clear previous data, and then what we want to do is we can read our codes. Stored code P0420, catalyst system efficiency bank 1 below threshold. So that's our O2 sensor code there. So what we're going to do now is clear that, and we'll go down to erase codes, enter. Yep, we want to erase them, and now that's done, and we should be good to go now. And that's a pretty straightforward O2 sensor replacement, and how to reset your codes there. With the O2 sensor stuff all taken care of, now we're going to start working on getting these latches fixed. So first thing we need to do, take the latch off. So we have 3 large Phillips head screws here. We'll go ahead and get those taken off, and then I'll show you the part that we're actually going to replace once I get this out of the car. Now that it's out of the car, you can see this little bushing that's supposed to go up over this metal piece is totally broken and missing from the tip there. So I'm going to have to replace that. But what we're after here today is this little spring-loaded clip here. So we'll get it from the bottom side. There's a little pin that goes through this spring, and then on this side we have a little E-clip that we'll need to pop off. The kit that I got is from Flying Miata, and it does come with extra E-clips and all the tools you'll need besides your screwdriver. So I'll go ahead and get this taken off. Hopefully I won't launch this E-clip into space, but if I do, I've got spares in the kit there. Alright, I got the old piece off, and you can see that this little nub here is quite well worn down compared to the new unit. You can actually really see that it took that whole lip of it off, and this is just a wear and tear item. And the nice thing with the Flying Miata kit is right where that hole is a little grub screw goes in. So as that wears down, you can back that grub screw out a little bit, and it helps you maintain that tension, help keep your latches closed. Got the new latch mechanism put in here, and from what you guys saw earlier, I could just lift and swing this thing all that I wanted. Now we have a nice positive engagement, and now it actually locks, latches that down. Also, while I was doing this one, that little chunk of plastic that was here literally just disintegrated and fell off, so I definitely need to order these. They're pretty cheap. You can get them on Flying Miata. I think they're like $4 or $5 a piece, so I'll go ahead and get those. And nice thing is they're pretty local, so shipping's super quick from those guys. And now that I've got this side done, we'll go ahead and jump over onto the other side and start testing it out and latching it together. Once we get the adjustment point set on this where we like it, I'm gonna put a little bit of blue thread locker on there just to make sure that grub screw doesn't back out and fall out on us. All right, team, thanks for coming along for the trip today. So we went ahead and knocked out the front and rear O2 sensors, as well as fixing the latch locks for the top on the Miata. So now we've got ourselves a nice little roadster here. Looking forward to taking it out on the track. Definitely look forward to hopefully seeing a couple of you folks out there. Feel free to swing by, say hi, check out the car, and we'll see you next time.